Imagine this. You're sitting at home when suddenly the power goes out. The news is filled with reports of an imminent disaster. Your home, once a safe haven, is now in the path of danger. What do? This is where the concept of bugging out comes into play. Bugging out is a term used in emergency preparedness circles to describe the act of leaving your current location for a safer place in the face of imminent danger. This is not a decision to be taken lightly. You're essentially giving up the roof over your head, the familiar comforts of your daily life, and stepping into the unknown. It's a last resort option, but sometimes it's the only option. And when that time comes, you need to be ready. But let's be clear, if you're only starting to think about this once disaster strikes, you're already late. The key to survival is preparation. Consider the scenarios that might necessitate bugging out. Natural disasters like wildfires, floods, hurricanes, or even a volcanic eruption. Unpredictable weather events, civil unrest, or a power grid collapse. The list goes on. This is the first episode of our When You Have to Bug Out series. We're going to delve into these scenarios, discuss potential risks associated with bugging out, and provide you with the knowledge you need to make informed decisions when the time comes. We'll talk about the importance of having a bug-out plan in place and being prepared to execute it swiftly. We'll delve into considerations for deciding when to bug out, including evaluating the severity of the threat and assessing the safety of your current location. We'll help you determine if bugging out is the right strategy for you and your family. We'll also discuss considerations to think about when planning for bugging out, including location, transportation, supplies, and communication. This is not about fear, but about being prepared. It's about being able to protect yourself and your loved ones when the unexpected happens. Remember, if you're only starting to think about this once disaster strikes, you're already late. Preparation is key. So what could possibly force you to make such a drastic decision? Let's explore some scenarios. Imagine waking up one day to find your peaceful neighborhood transformed into a disaster zone by a natural catastrophe. Picture wildfires raging uncontrollably, their insatiable flames swallowing everything in their path. Or perhaps a hurricane is tearing through your city, leaving nothing but devastation in its wake. Floods, too, can turn a bustling city into a ghost town overnight, forcing you to abandon your home, your possessions, your comfort zone. And then there are the less predictable disasters, like a sudden volcanic eruption, spewing molten lava and dark ash clouds, turning day into an eerie night. But it's not just Mother Nature that can force you to bug out. Consider the chaos of civil unrest, a society in turmoil, where your home is no longer a safe haven but a potential target. Imagine a power grid collapse, plunging your world into darkness, disrupting communication, and making daily survival a grueling challenge. These are not just scenarios from dystopian novels or Hollywood blockbusters. These are real-life situations that have occurred and can occur again, anywhere, anytime. They are unpredictable, they are severe, and they necessitate immediate action. Now I understand that these scenarios can sound overwhelming, even frightening. But remember, the purpose of discussing them is not to incite fear, but to promote preparedness. It's about acknowledging the what-ifs, and then taking steps to ensure that if the worst does happen, you are not caught off guard. Bugging out is not an easy decision to make. It means leaving behind your home, your familiarity, and venturing into the unknown, armed only with your survival skills and your bug-out bag. But in certain situations, it could be your only viable option for survival. These are extreme situations, but they're not impossible. Being prepared for the worst can mean the difference between survival and tragedy. So, stay tuned and subscribe to my channel Prepping for Tomorrow as we dive deeper into the world of bugging out. Now that we've established the why, we need to address the how. It's time to talk about the bug-out plan. A bug-out plan isn't just a hastily drawn map and a backpack filled with canned goods. It's a comprehensive strategy, meticulously thought out, designed to keep you and your loved ones safe when the unthinkable happens. Think of it as a lifeboat. You hope you'll never need it, but if you do, it can mean the difference between survival and catastrophe. The first consideration in your bug-out plan is location. Yes, you're leaving your home, but where are you going? You need a destination that's safe, accessible, and preferably familiar. This could be a relative's house, a remote cabin, or even a designated campsite. The key is to have a destination in mind and not just wander aimlessly. Next, consider transportation. How will you get to your bug-out location? Car, bike, foot? Each mode of transportation has its pros and cons, and the right choice depends on factors like distance, terrain, and the nature of the emergency. Then there are supplies. What will you need to survive for an extended period away from home? Food, water, shelter, first aid, tools, and clothing are essentials. But don't forget about personal items like medications, important documents, and comfort items. Finally, let's talk about communication. In an emergency, staying connected is critical. You'll need a way to receive updates about the situation and a way to reach out if you need help. This could be as simple as a battery-powered radio and a cell phone, or as complex as a set of walkie-talkies or a ham radio. But remember, a bug-out plan is not a one-size-fits-all solution. It should be customized to fit your needs, your resources, and your circumstances. It should be flexible, adaptable, and above all, it should be known and practiced by all members of your family. A good bug-out plan should leave nothing to chance. Every detail matters. The decision to bug out is not one to be taken lightly. Let's talk about how to determine if it's the right strategy for you. Deciding when to bug out is as crucial as having a bug-out plan in the first place. The timing is a balancing act, and it's all about accurately evaluating the severity of the threat and the safety of your current location. Firstly, let's talk about evaluating the severity of the threat. It's not just about whether a disaster has occurred, but also the scale of that disaster. A localized flood might not necessitate a full-on bug-out, while a Category 5 hurricane barreling towards your town certainly would. Remember, it's not about panicking at the first sign of trouble. It's about making an informed decision based on the facts at hand. Now, assessing the safety of your current location is another crucial aspect. Is your home structurally sound? Is it likely to withstand the impending disaster? Or is it safer to move to a more secure location? Also, consider if staying put exposes you to secondary risks like looting or civil unrest. Sometimes the danger isn't just the disaster itself, but the aftermath that follows. Another key consideration is your ability to survive in your current location without outside help. Do you have enough supplies? Can you source water? Is there a risk of being cut off from the outside world for an extended period? These are all questions that need to be thought through. Every situation is unique and there is no one-size-fits-all answer. It's about weighing the risks and making the best decision for you and your family. Remember, bugging out is a last resort, not the first option. It means leaving behind the comfort and safety of your home, your familiar surroundings, and venturing into the unknown. When it comes to bugging out, timing is everything. Too early, and you've uprooted your life for nothing. Too late, and you risk being caught in the middle of a disaster. So take the time now to think through these considerations, so when the time comes, you're ready to make that call. So, there we have it. We've covered what bugging out is, why you might need to do it, how to plan for it, and when to make the call. The concept of bugging out, as we've explored, is a fundamental part of emergency preparedness. It's the act of leaving your current location in search of safety when disaster strikes. This could be due to a multitude of reasons such as natural disasters, civil unrest, power grid collapses, and more. But remember, bugging out isn't about abandoning your home on a whim. It's a calculated move made in the face of an imminent threat to your life and well-being. We've also delved into the scenarios that might necessitate bugging out. From wildfires and floods to hurricanes and volcanic eruptions, the triggers are myriad and unpredictable. The only certainty is uncertainty itself. And that's where the power of preparation comes in. In this unpredictable world, having a bug-out plan in place is your best bet at survival. It's not just about packing a bag and hitting the road, it's about understanding your environment, your resources, your limitations, and your destination. It's about having a comprehensive plan for transportation, supplies, and communication. And most importantly, it's about making the decision to bug out not out of fear, but out of a well-informed, rational assessment of the situation. But how do you know when it's time to bug out? This decision, as we've discussed, is a delicate balance of evaluating the severity of the threat and assessing the safety of your current location. It's about understanding that sometimes the safest place might not be your home, but somewhere else, somewhere safer. In the face of impending disaster, knowledge is your first line of defense. Stay safe, stay prepared, and remember, survival isn't about the fittest, but the most prepared. Until next time, keep prepping for tomorrow. I hope this video has given you some food for thought and a starting point for your own bug-out plan. If you found value in this content, consider subscribing to our channel, Prepping for Tomorrow. We're dedicated to providing you with the survival and preparedness tips you need in these unpredictable times. Remember, the key to survival is not reacting but preparing. Don't wait for disaster to strike. Start your preparations today. I'll catch you on the next one.